Good morning, dear cadets. Coal and petroleum is the fifth chapter in our science book. In the first class, we have discussed about the type and nature of resources. In part 2 video, today we will discuss nature and types of fuels, fossil fuels, how the coal formed, that is the story of coal, and their uses. So let's start our journey with fuel. What is this fuel? Simply anything that can give some energy as its output after some chemical reaction is known as the fuel. So simply fuel means any object that after chemical reaction can give some energy. Okay, there are many examples of fuel that we are using in our everyday life. For example, coal, oil, that is petroleum, wood, methanol, any type of alcohol, gasoline, that high engine we can give you gasoline, diesel, petrol or hydrogen liquid that we are using as normal fuel in our everyday life. Now my dear cadets, fuel are of different types and they have different ability to give the energy. The energy coming from different fuel is different. Clear? That is known as the calorific value. Calorific value of fuel. In that way, this hydrogen and methane, this methane, these are the two fuels that have good calorific value. The amount of energy that we got from these two fuels is most, whatever available to us. Next, some people have common doubt, what is the name of the fuel by which our planes are working. So I will categorize this discussion into two parts. First is for normal our public communication planes. Second is our military planes. We all know our military planes are little bit more complicated than the normal planes. So we are using different type of fuel also, different quality of fuel. In normal planes, mostly we are using kerosene that is made proper for aviation, for flying. It's not pure kerosene that available in our home. Okay, the reason we are using kerosene is, first of all, it has lower freezing point. Yes, as it has lower freezing point, that's why when the fly is at sufficient height from the ground, the temperature is very less till it can give the service to the engine. It will not freeze. Second is, it has lower viscosity. Viscosity means the ability to behave like a jelly. It has less viscosity, that's why our engine got benefited from it. Third is, kerosene based fuel that is good and proper for flight engine have low cost also. So cost is also less. Because of these three reasons, we are preferring aviation kerosene, or the chemical name of this aviation kerosene is QAV1. Okay, now let's try to understand about the cost. Okay, try to understand about the cost factor. One big standard flight, just take example of Boeing 747 type of flight. Okay, per second it will use about 1 gallon of oil per second. 1 gallon is closely 4 liters. So now you can assume, if a journey is of 10 hours, then how much fuel it will actually consume. So cost is also an important factor. In military purpose, we are whatever you using the weapon instruments or the flight jet, they have little bit complicated the engine, and that's why we are generally using kerosene, naphtha or kerosene gasoline type of fuel. Clear? It has little bit more power and it has some more quality also that required for a complicated engine. Now let's try to understand the types of fuel. There are total 4 types of fuel. We will first discuss about fossil fuels. Actually, in this chapter we have to learn in details about fossil fuel, so we will come later. Let's try to understand about nuclear fuels. There are some elements that are so active that if we use them, they produce tremendous amount of power or energy. For example, I can mention about uranium. First example is uranium. We denoted by U, and like oxygen have mass 16 or carbon have mass 12, similarly it have mass 235. So we are using U 235. Okay. And second example I can take plutonium. Plutonium is denoted by Pu and its mass is 239. So some more chemicals are there, elements are there, they are ready to produce huge amount of power or energy. So we can use them. If we can deal with them, then we can extract the power from them. They create tremendous amount of energy. For example, 1 gram plutonium, how much gives the energy? That is equal to the energy that comes from 3 tons of coal, or that amount is equal to the oil that comes from 600 gallons oil. You understood? So it plays a very vital role in the next generation. In the coming days, it will be our supreme most power, because slowly fossils are about to finish. Within coming 40 to 50 years, there will be no fossils power. So we have to depend on this nuclear power. At the same time, we are using some renewable fuels. Renewable fuels means that produced from renewable sources. For example, there are lot many options or resources available to us that are renewable in nature. So we can take some examples like, okay, let's change the color of the pen. So renewable, some examples I can write like solar energy or wind energy, yeah, or tidal energy, or geothermal energy. Clear? Geothermal means learning about earth. That's why the subject is geography. Our earth, different part has different temperature, and slowly temperature increases. Suppose here temperature is 30 degrees centigrade, and in that layer temperature will be suppose 300 degrees centigrade. So using this difference in temperature, we can create some fuel. We can utilize this. This is known as the geothermal energy. Okay, and the fourth one is the fuels that we can produce from wastage. That's why most of the corporations like Bombay Corporation, Calcutta Corporation, they have one part. They are dealing with this wastage. OFMSW is coming frequently in news. Its full form is Organic fraction of municipal solid wastage. So each municipal have a part, they are dealing with this solid wastage that are like leaflet of kitchen wastage, sewage plug, plant wastage, animal wastage. We can use in a scientific way and we can produce the fuel. So let's now try to understand about fossil fuel. What is it? Simply, so let's try to understand. Today, 82% of the demand, global demand, of energy is coming from these fossil fuels. Okay? Fossil fuels actually is the term used to describe a group of energy sources. It represents a group, it's not a single entity. And from today, about 360 to 280 million years ago, it was produced. Yeah, even if you calculate, if you read history book, you will come to know this year. It means whenever this fossil fuel produced, it is prior to the age of dinosaur also. Clear? You may have, some people may have doubt with this millions. Millions means 1000 into 1000. Okay? We can say it as the 10 lakhs. Or we can say it as the 0.1 crore. Okay? For example, today in 2020, the approximate population in India is 1370 million. Or we can say, as we learn, it is about 0.1. The relation is there. In that way, it will be 137 crores. Clear? So millions means 10 lakhs. It's huge in numbers. Fossil fuels mainly divided into three categories, that is coal, oil and natural gas. In our today class, we will try to understand about the coal. Let's learn about some surprising facts about the coal. First one is the amount of energy that we have, total amount of energy in earth is equal to the energy produced by sun in 2 weeks. Yeah, surprising information. Second thing, today we are using maybe petrol or diesel or oil. But once upon a time, we know they produce from the animal or plants. Once upon a time, these animals and plants actually store energy from sun. So, sun is the ultimate source of energy. Coal is the one of the least expensive source of energy, and it produces higher amount of carbon dioxide. Means, no doubt, coal is the one of the main agents that produce the pollution in our earth. Clear? So now let's learn the story of coal. Story of coal means how actually it produced. As I told you, millions of years ago, millions of years ago, land was fully occupied by the big trees. The water was occupied by aquatic animals. Because of some disaster or some type of earthquake, there is a big vibration and everything comes under the water. Okay? And slowly they they make a layer. The layer, like the spongy layer, they make a spongy layer. Why? Because of huge pressure that comes from water, or if they come under the land, then land also gives the pressure to those items. Because of this huge pressure and temperature, the spongy layers convert into peat. Okay. Now after millions of years, it faced this huge pressure and temperature, and chemically it changed into rock. What type of rock? Sedimentary rock. It converts into sedimentary rock, and slowly the parameter like time, like temperature, like pressure, convert the sedimentary rock into different types of coal. We will come to know now that there are few types of cokes. Clear? For better understanding, we will use this picture. Lot many items was there available once upon a time, but because of any natural disaster or anything, they come inside the ground, and because of huge pressure, heat, and with the time they chemically convert it. If time is more lignite or like this. Okay. Now try to understand about Earth. We know our beloved Earth is nearly spherical in shape, and the radius of the Earth is approximately 6400 kilometers. Yes, most of the part it is water and 1/3 part is land. If we go slowly inside, then we will find out denser objects. So at the core, this is the core, there are the supreme denser objects. So, and the items you know, that is nickel at the middle, iron, nickel. These items are there at the core. Now whenever you are going inside, temperature and pressure both will increase. Yeah? Temperature at the core is approximately 6000 degrees centigrade. We know light is coming from sun to us. The temperature at the surface of sun is also 6000 degrees centigrade. Yeah? So this huge temperature created in Earth because of the pressure. Pressure is about 3.6 million atmospheric pressure. Whatever pressure we are feeling in the outside, because of air, we know about 600 kilometers, up to 600 kilometer air is there. Because of the air, we got some pressure, that is called atmospheric pressure. Inside pressure is 3.6 million times than the atmospheric pressure. And as the pressure and temperature both are huge, that's why still in the core, the iron and nickel can exist in solid form. It's not liquid or gas. You can ask me that 6000 degrees centigrade it should melt. Yes, it should melt if temperature is 1 atm. If temperature also huge, that's why these two materials or whatever is in core will not melt. Now try to understand types of cores. Based on the percentage of carbon, the quality actually determined. And there are 4 to 5 types of, in some books it is given 5 types. We will learn mainly there are total 4 types of cores based on percentage of carbon. Yeah. For example, let's try to write the anthracite formula. It is C24890, oxygen 4, nitrogen and sulfur. Bituminous formula will be C137, hydrogen 97, oxygen 9, nitrogen sulfur. Not required to remember this thing. Yeah, it's for our understanding. From the chemical formula you can come to know carbon amount is different. Yeah, so that is our note 1. Carbon amount is different, that's why there are many types. What is our note 2? In coal, not only carbon is there. Yeah, sometimes we are believing coal means carbon. Yes, carbon is dominating, but some other are also there. For example, mainly carbon and hydrogen, but still little bit amount of oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur are there. As carbon and hydrogen are most, that's why they also known as the hydrocarbon. Yeah, coal can be treated as the hydrocarbon. So there are 4 types of coal: anthracite, bituminous, lignite and pit. Clear? Now coal is classified into 3 categories: coke, available in the solid; coal tar, available in form of liquid; and the gas, that is available in the gaseous form. Try to understand about coke. Coke means the form of coal having very less impurity. So we can believe coke as the supreme purest or form of coal. Clear? So purest form of coal is the coke. Clear? It is available in the solid form. Now let's try to understand about calorific value. Before I already told you, if you take 1 kg of coke and you burn it, means give heat, it will produce some energy. That energy is 56,000 joules. That's why we call 56,000 kilojoule. Kilojoule energy is produced by 1 kg coke. We can use it in various purposes like households, and we can also use it to produce water gas. Water gas is not water. Water gas formula is CO plus H2. It is a good and well known and a safe fuel in many industries. How we produce? Simply just take water, give good amount of heat, so steam will produce. You have to take a pipe and send this steam where you kept some coke. So what happens? There will be reaction between this steam and coke. Because of that reaction, this water gas produced, that is CO and H2. And finally we can use that water gas in industry as a fuel. See? Second one is the coal tar. Coal tar is not a particular liquid. Actually, it is a mixture of many chemicals like benzene, naphthalene, phenol, aniline. Yeah. So many chemical organic material are there. Let's discuss about the uses of coal tar. In medical purpose, it has a lot of importance. Even shampoos and soap which have medical value to kill the lips is created by tar. One product we are taking from coal tar. We all know before producing the roads, we have to give one black type of liquid here and there for sticking purpose. That is also a coal tar. Also other things like synthetic dye and photographic material. For preparing, we use coal tar as the raw material. Last topic is the coal gas. How coal gas produced? Let's try to understand. It's very easy. First, we have to take some coal in dust form. Then you have to give heat. What happens? This heat and coal will make reaction and produce some gas. This gas through this pipe will come. Okay, through this pipe it will come. Some part of the gas will dissolve in water and produce coal tar. That is just now discussed. A small part which is not dissolving in water will come out, and through this pipe will come out. That is known as the coal gas. So by using powder coal, we are creating coal gas and coal tar. We have so many petroleum refinery centers in Visakhapatnam, in Haldia, in Paradip, in Odisha. We have big oil refinery centers. In that oil refinery centers, all this work is going on. Yeah. So uses of coal tar is in many uses, in lighting, in heating. Yeah, lighting purpose in heating purpose, as a fuel, we are using it, even in industry, even in illuminate also we are using it. So lot many uses are there. This is the final picture where I am trying to show you the uses of coal in various ways. So coal is just like a main stem of a tree, and each of the leaves means it has many purposes like vitamins, dyes, paints, for making explosives, for steel. We know steel means iron mixed with some amount of carbon, then only it becomes rust-free. So steel in iron industry. Iron is available actually in terms of iron oxide Fe2O3. If we make reaction of this oxide with carbon, then Fe and CO will produce. So to extract metal iron from its compound, we have to use the coal. We have to use the coal. Similarly, as a fuel, for creating of rubber, we are using plastics. Plastics raw material is a naphtha that we are extracting from the coal itself. So coal uses is spread everywhere in our daily life. It plays a very vital role. I think you understood today's class. Today we have explained only the types of fuels and the various uses of coal in our everyday life.